Now that's just another groove to kickstart your morning.
That's right. Good morning, Fiji. It's Gold FM bringing you the classic hits to fine-tune your mornings.
And Fila still trying to fine-tune her voice.
And as always, Pedali still trying to wake up.
Now this is where you'll find us every morning from Monday to Friday.
On Daybreak with Pedali and Fina from 6 to 9. Join us.
जहाँ हो प्यार का बसेरा और रिश्तों की खुशबू, वो है आपका अपना घर संसार. Join me on घर संसार, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. only on Radio Fiji 2.
In the news tonight, High Court finds former FMPF Deputy General Manager Fana Nemani guilty on charges of extortion and abuse of authority. Singatoka Methodist Primary School students to resume classes tomorrow, and work on new cement factory progressing well. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and you're watching FBC News. The assessors in the trial of former FMPF Deputy General Manager Fana Nemani have found her guilty on charges of extortion by a public officer and abuse of authority. Chanel Sivan has been following the trial in the Suva High Court.
This is the first case of its kind in Fiji's history, where the trial proceeded in absence of the accused, known as an absentia case. Nemani is charged with extortion by a public officer and abuse of authority. It is alleged she authorized payment of a responsibility allowance without proper procedures. Yesterday, FICAC lawyer Rashmi Aslam told the court that Nemani was a public servant. Nemani had absconded voluntarily from court and chose not to exercise her right to be present and not to be legally represented. She left for New Zealand without the leave of the court. FICAC stated that the gross responsibility allowance paid to Nemani was $38,769. FICAC then explained why this payment was done. A memo was sent by the then CEO stating that Nemani was given 2 additional responsibilities but was also relieved of 2 other responsibilities. FICAC says this does not mean that Nemani had any extra responsibility and was not entitled to any form of responsibility allowances because this was part of her job. He further stated under her job contract that responsibility given by the CEO becomes her work. Fana Nemani also approved a sum of $3,333 to the then CEO Olota Rokovunisei, for which she is charged with abuse of office. Judge Justice Janaka Bandara also found Nemani guilty and will deliver a sentence on Friday. Judge Justice Janaka Bandara asked FICAC to find out if Nemani has previously been convicted, and this will contribute towards her mitigation factor. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
A Fijian national in New Zealand has been jailed for 13 years for having a sexual relationship with a 13-year-old girl and sexually offending 2 of her friends. 31-year-old Satish Narayan Mishra pleaded guilty to 2 representative counts of sexual conduct with a young person aged 13 to 15. The jury additionally found him guilty of rape involving a second girl, 14 at the time, and of indecently assaulting a third, aged 16. The sexual conduct charges related to the girl with whom he had a consenting sexual relationship for many months. The other 2 charges related to 2 of her friends whom Mishra plied with alcohol after encouraging them to participate in a drinking session. Mishra was refused bail 3 times and has been in custody since being charged last October. He could potentially get parole after serving a third of his sentence. At the end of his sentence, he will be extradited back to Fiji. Students of Singatoka Methodist Primary School will resume classes tomorrow. This is the outcome of a meeting between the Permanent Secretary for Education, Dr. Bridgelal, and the school management. Eleanor Tarangaivu has more.
Students of this school, which was destroyed in a fire early yesterday morning, will be accommodated in nearby schools. According to Dr. Lal, 5 classrooms at Singatoka Methodist High School are available, as well as 3 at Singatoka District School and 2 classrooms at St. Joan of Arc. Dr. Lal says as soon as the National Fire Authority has cleared the site, temporary structures will be set up as classrooms for the students. Meanwhile, talks are ongoing between the National Fire Authority and the Ministry of Education to ensure that all schools in the country meet fire safety requirements.
And the plan is for us to form a joint working committee and maybe we'll inspect all the schools and then make recommendations in terms of the minimum or basic firefighting equipment that's required to be in the schools.
There are also plans for more fire safety training in schools.
Also, one of the things that we have discussed with the Permanent Secretary is the inspection and training for teachers. But in that fire,
the National Fire Authority is still investigating the cause of the fire. Eleanor Turangaivu, FBC News.
Meanwhile, this morning, Tapu Group donated $10,000 to the Singatoka Methodist Primary School to assist in the rebuilding of classrooms. They will also liaise with the school management to see how they can assist further. Work on the new cement factory in Lami is progressing well. The Lami site is different from the original site chosen along the Queens Road at Vesari, which was found to be unsuitable. The new factory is owned by Tenji Cement Company Limited, a Chinese investment company. The new site is on state land and the company has a 99-year industrial lease to operate the factory. Permanent Secretary for Lands, Devita Mbosewanga, says the land where the original factory was to be built is soft soil.
Now it's progressing well, and what I understand is now they are about to complete the construction of the factory itself.
And that land is?
That's the state land. And the lease has been given and it's in order.
The cement factory is the second such business for the country. People in certain parts of Vanua Levu are pleading for government assistance as they are directly affected by climate change. Veresa Denguan Rao, an environment and climate change advocate in Bua, says for many of the villages, relocation is the only option. Shireen Lanta reports.
Denguan Rao adds environment is so vulnerable to these changes. Trees that used to grow along the coastlines have been washed away.
When it comes to cyclones, when waves hit these foreshores, if you go there right now, you can really feel and you can see it's evident the effects of this climate change.
Some villages such as Yandua have already started relocating.
People also who are living on the coastal areas of Vanua Levu. There's an island named, there's a village named Naivaka. This village is severely feeling the effects of climate change right now. And there are other places like Nakalo in Maduata. I was just there a few weeks ago and I've seen the evidence of climate change.
Food security in the villages has been affected. Crops aren't able to grow well due to the massive involvement of salt water into the mainland, and there's a lack of safe drinking water.
I would really need the assistance of government and the other non-government organizations to come to these villages and really assess the situation and assist those villages in Bua who really need to be relocated right now.
Around 200 to 300 people live in the 7 villages in Bua. Shireen Lata, FBC News.
Alisi Paulini, the Climate Change Unit team leader at the Foreign Affairs Ministry, has confirmed that the relocation is taking place. Coming up after the break, Nandi villages to undergo disaster risk management training in preparation for cyclone season.
Nimbula medangu nimilote na isoro tembua nama kia umena rua kina ona na veka vi moniti kina vakarombuka rongo mena via sama kina viva ko baro takini ndreko malolo eno radio Fiji wan na wongani pioniano ngai nama kia kina
आपकी शादी होने वाली है 5 बच्चे होंगे 5 हाय मैं हूँ आपकी सहेली वेनू सुनते रहिए मिर्ची एफएम मैं हूँ ना 9 से 12 बजे तक
Welcome back. You're watching FBC News. For decades, villagers of Motoriki Island in the Lomaiviti group have depended on water from ponds for survival. Yanudha village is on the island only about 10 minutes by boat from Levuka. Eleanor Terangaiviu has more.
Generation after generation of Yanudha villagers rely on this pond for their everyday living.
Eat, drink, cook, bath from this tombu.
Like many other remote islands, Yanudha has its share of troubles when it comes to getting clean and safe drinking water.
Yanudha has no hill, so they survive on whatever is left over from the rain.
Efforts are now underway to ensure the villagers are not deprived of this basic right.
We are assisting in the improvement of this tombu, and part of the Tikina Council program is to supply them with a water tank.
Yanudha is only one of the 10 villages in Motoriki that depend on water from ponds. Rest assured, life should be much easier for these villages with the promised assistance from government. Eleanor Terangaiviu, FBC News.
The Itau KFS Scholarship Unit is recording an increased interest from mature applicants. The unit says mature students awarded with scholarships have been topping the university exams recently.
According to the Itoke Affairs Scholarship Unit, 1/3 of the total number of awardees this year are matured students, 35 years of age and above.
A parent from Nandarivatu who left school for a few years, married, have kids, and she went back to attend Form 7. It was really a touching experience for us when we hear her story. And she talks about how she went back to school. She managed to top the whole score, class Form 7 in Nandarivatu, and she applied for a degree program. And she was awarded scholarship based on the merit.
The unit is upgrading its policies to meet the current market demands and the increasing interest. A paper on the revised policies will be submitted to Cabinet for implementation from 2014.
Policy was lastly reviewed in 2006. And years goes by, lots of changes in university, lots of improvement done by universities, but our policy is still the same from 2006.
Walao says the Itoke Affairs Ministry will continue to work towards government's initiative of making Fiji a more literate society.
Looking at the constitution, what we have so far, there's not much changes, and we are happy with what has come out with the constitution.
The Itoke Affairs Scholarship Unit is yet to release its scholarship quota for 2014. Mikalonga, FBC News.
Locals are being encouraged to venture into aquaculture, which is the farming of aquatic organisms like fish and prawns as well as others. The push is being made by the Agriculture Ministry as part of efforts to promote food security. Akasita Tale has the story.
Aquaculture has not been developed on a large scale. The Agriculture Ministry feels the time is just about right to do so.
We cannot totally rely on the fish that are in the wild. That's why we are going into aquaculture more, raising our own fish, tilapia, the prawns. We are just bringing in a new strain now to be reared in Fiji and also given out to farmers.
Wainingolo says they have 4 divisions that look into aquaculture to assist farmers. Tilapia farming is especially encouraged in the rural areas.
Especially for the protein source in areas that you don't know, those villages that are not on the coastline. We encourage that, and we've been doing that to all the provinces in Fiji, especially, as I said, those provinces that are not along the coast, the interior ones.
Wainingolo says this will only be successful if everyone invests in aquaculture.
We work together in order that this resource is managed sustainably. It's not only part of government, it's the industry and even the communities that are relying on this on their daily sustenance.
Wainingolo says they would continue to create awareness to empower communities to take ownership of such projects. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
Villagers in Nandi will be trained in disaster risk management starting next month. This is in line with preparation for the upcoming cyclone season. Ritika Pratap reports.
The training in Nandi will be conducted by NGOs that deal with disaster management. Recent disasters have shown that villages in Nandi are most vulnerable.
The organizations that deals, especially the NGOs that deals with disaster management, they are going through settlements and villages in the Western Division on training.
All villages will undergo a standard training on disaster risk management that is put together by Japanese International Cooperation Agency.
There's no to standard, no to curriculum. We want to have it the same curriculum, same guidebook, so for them to operate. Otherwise, there will be one village learning one thing and the other village learning the other thing.
With the help from the New Zealand government, a few permanent evacuation centres are being built. However, Dawaki says they have also identified other schools that can be used as evacuation centres.
We've strengthened schools that we will be using for evacuation centres. Strengthening in the sense that we are putting more water tanks. We are assisting the schools in building more toilets, to toilets and showers to cater for the influx of people once evacuation is needed.
The simulation exercise will begin from the 7th of next month. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Sports time now with Jamie, and it seems the Battle of the Mbati is the hot topic this week.
Of course it is, Jackie. This will be one matchup you don't want to miss. And for Ryan Millard, this Thursday he will not want to disappoint. We hear from him after the break about his journey to the World Cup. Also coming up, Fiji football's all-star teams were named today. Find out more after the break.
Bola, oya wasala bilawa. Do pata kia umena diwa kina tini karona kaloko na single boni moniti kina wagarumbuka. Kako ni valatana no musini sari na kaisa mariando loloma leone vani ni nau omgori ke de mena diwa kina tini karona kaloko na single boni moniti kina wagarumbuka na Bula FM number 2 en sere.
I wake up in the morning, I prefer to go down to the gym, get a bit of physical work done. Also, later on in the day, I decide to go through for meditation. I do a bit of reading to find out what the latest songs are, a bit of research. And for me, it's all about the listeners.
Hey, what's up? I'm Rio, and this is the Traffic Jam every weekday from 3 o'clock to 7, only on Today FM. Today is hit music. What's up?
Welcome back to FBC Sports. The disappointment of not being selected for the 2008 Rugby League World Cup has motivated Ryan Millard to work even harder this time around. The France-based rugger hopes to join his older brother Daryl in the Vodafone Fiji Mbati's quest for success at the World Meet in England next month. Talen Dadakadaka reports.
Thursday night's Vodafone Battle of the Mbati will be a shot at redemption for this 26-year-old. He's one of a handful of overseas-based league reps who have availed themselves to impress selectors at the final trial at the ANZ Stadium this week.
It's a big opportunity, so especially being on the other side of the world. So it's very exciting, and hopefully all things come positive out of it.
Millard was part of the training squad in 2008. Even though he failed to make the cut, he's impressed in Fiji's selection setup in preparation for this World Cup.
I think it's a lot more organised, this World Cup, in terms of not just officials, but sponsorship, playing group. So I remember last World Cup when we came over for the trials, it was a bit unorganised, but this World Cup's very organised, which is very good, very pleasing.
2013 is the year Millard believes he'll don the white jumper, and with big brother Daryl by his side, it's no wonder heads are already turning towards the Vodafone Fiji Mbati lineup for Rugby League's biggest event. Tsalendo Dakadaka, FBC Sports.
And sporting fans can't help but get involved with the hype of the Vodafone Battle of the Mbati this week. After all, it's another World Cup year, which is likely to feature a majority of locally based reps in comparison to the available NRL players. Elena McDonald tells us why.
If there's any year to watch Rugby League, 2013 would be it. The World Cup in England approaches, and as teams finalize their best outfits, the Fiji Mbati jersey beckons. Thursday witnesses the best local talent versus the best overseas reps can offer, and everyone has a point to prove for that final cut.
It's a big challenge for myself, because I'm the
first time because all of the people here are playing for they are playing for the rugby league. For the I'm playing for the union. So I tried with myself to switch to play for the rugby league.
For others who believe they've missed out before, they're not even going to let brotherhood bonds get in the way.
It's going to be a physical contest against, well, I'm a front rower, so I'm expecting a tough physical contest against my opposites. He's actually one of my cousins, one of my opposite front rowers, so it'll be tough, but at the same time I know what I have to do to get over the top of him, so I'm looking forward to it.
2 days remain before the final trial takes place. Let's hope our coaches have identified just what they need to get to churn out our best ever Fiji Bati outfit. Elena McDonald, FBC Sports.
The All-Stars South and West football squads have been named for the FIFA World Cup Trophy Tour match at Lautoka's Churchill Park on Saturday. The public have had their say after being tasked to vote which players they wanted to see represent them, and officials are adamant it will be an encounter well worth all the effort.
Yes, if you look at the South team, there are few players who've been roped in from the under-17 team. The national under-17 team players are into the southern team. The coach Marikama Rondu did select them based on the performance, and there are a few senior players who had named basically in the squad. They had to pull out due to work commitment and personal reasons. West also has got some new players in the squad, and it took the coaches a bit of time to do the selection because we only needed 18 players.
Meanwhile, the FIFA World Cup Trophy Tour by Coca-Cola begins from Thursday when it arrives in Nandi. Tomorrow, though, it touches down in Tahiti. The Fiji Sports Commission has come forward to assist our national under-18 side as they prepare for their 3-match tour to Australia this week. The side received a $50,000 check, which will go towards covering costs for the tour. The side will face New South Wales County and New Zealand schoolboys before taking on the Australian schoolboys in their final encounter. Team officials also received their new uniforms from local sports manufacturer, Tau Sports.
Today, the granting of giving them 50,000 care contribution towards it. We would have liked it to be more, but the biggest problem is it's all last minute. Our funding is not endless. We have 44 odd sports to help with. It's not just in overseas tours. But we're working a lot on scholarships for individuals, also for short-term expert grants, as well as hosting tournaments here in Fiji.
And that's it from Sports Tonight. It's back to Jackie now with business.
Sunergize International, the first Pan-Pacific solar power service company, has announced the acquisition of a shareholding in Suva-based engineering company Clay Energy. The partnership will see Clay Energy providing technical and engineering services to Sunergize, from system design through to installation, maintenance and servicing. Sunergize International made headlines in December 2012 when Fiji's Attorney General opened the company's first landmark installation at Port Denarau Marina, which is the largest of its kind for a marina anywhere in the world. Sunergize Fiji Director Ajay Raniga says they are delighted to announce the partnership. Bruce Clay, who established Clay Energy, says the two companies share similar vision and values and are dedicated to helping secure clean, affordable and sustainable energy future for the islands. Time for the weather girl, and what a downpour we had today, Jen.
Yes, Jackie, Suva did experience a thunderstorm this afternoon. Oh, look. All right, there it is. It was also a very dull day, judging from the number of clouds on our map. The sun did come out in the morning, though, for Nandi, Lautoka, Ba, and Lambasa. Looking at temperatures now, and 29 degrees is the nation's lowest today. The highest was 31 in the jet set town and the Sugar City. It looks like we'll be seeing all those clouds again tomorrow. It's also going to rain in the afternoon for Suva, Savasavu, and Lambasa. So where's the spotlight tonight? Well, it's Sunset Strip in Korotongo. Thanks, Karen. We love the photo and we appreciate you sending it in. If you'd like to show off your photography skills, just send in your best pictures and chances are you'll get to see them on the big screen behind me.
Thanks so much for that, Genevieve. Recapping the headlines, High Court finds former FNPF Deputy General Manager Fana Nemani guilty on charges of extortion and abuse of authority. Singatoka Methodist Primary School students to resume classes tomorrow, and work on new cement factory progressing well. Now into the poll question, and we're asking, was Team Fiji's performance at the Pacific Minigame satisfactory? Log on to www.fbc.com.fj to take part. Remember to send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj. That's all from the team tonight. Join us again tomorrow. Good evening.
Hi, I'm Sophie.
And I'm Tix.
You can join us on The Breakfast Show
every weekday from Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. till 9 a.m. right here on Today FM.
That's right.
सूरज की पहली किरण के साथ दिन की शुरुआत कीजिए। सुबह का मंगल प्रभात आपको शुभ हो। सुबह सुबह हो खुशियों का मेला, ना लोगों की परवाह ना दुनिया का झमेला। पंछियों का संगीत हो और मौसम अलबेला। मुबारक हो आपको ये खूबसूरत सवेरा। हर सोमवार से लेकर शुक्रवार तक सुबह 6 से लेकर 9 बजे तक शामिल रहें रेडियो FBC पर हम सफर में रविंद्र सिंह के साथ।